When they go out for a ride, most cyclists take a small toolkit, but what should you carry? This video goes through what I take on my road bike and my gravel bike. This is a short series of videos sharing with new cyclists some of the stuff experienced riders take for granted. If that sounds interesting, please subscribe and take a look at the videos with the purple trim around the thumbnail. I like my toolkits to live on the bike, whether it's gravel bike or road bike, because they're slightly different in their needs. Road bike first. Most of it is in a small pouch under the saddle. My tyres are clinchers, which means they need inner tubes. There's a move towards tubeless tyres, which are airtight on the rim and have a liquid inside that seals small punctures. I have tried these, but I've not got on too well with them, which will probably provoke comments from tubeless enthusiasts, so go ahead and tell me why I'm wrong. Regardless, I need at least one inner tube, but in case of two punctures, I also carry a race light inner tube, which as you can see is much smaller, but more expensive and more likely to puncture, so I don't routinely use these. It is a backup. And just in case that should fail, I have some sticky patches which don't need extra glue. These used to be called leeches. To ease tyres on and off, I have a couple of flat plastic tyre levers. Two's all I need, and most of the time I can do it with just my fingers. Try to get the bead not at the edge of the rim, but in the dip in the middle, and it's easier to get the tyre on and off. I have a small pump that's on my frame. That one is okay, but the best one is this micro rocket pump, and it lives on my gravel bike. Recommended by GCN, it is very good. But it is a bit slow, and if it's tipping down with rain and you just need to get going, I also carry a gas inflator. That's a carbon dioxide cartridge that screws into an inflator head and triggers when you push it onto the valve. But a word of warning. As the liquid carbon dioxide turns to gas, it drops in temperature and a frost will form on the metal casing. So use a glove, a snood, or ideally a proper case to protect your hands. You can do yourself some damage. And you'll hear it connect. Now this one has a little trigger on it, so I can control the output. But I'm going to cover that, and still I'm going to put a glove on, because you'll see why. Let's inflate the tyre. That's good enough to get me home. Now, you can see, if I take this off, just how cold that is. Can you see that? There's a frost formed on the end of there. That white frost. And that can form on the whole of this container. So if you're holding it in a bare hand, it would really get chilly. That's why I like those. Oh, it's still cold. You can recycle the cartridges wherever metal is recycled, but most go to landfill. So routinely, I prefer to use a little pump. I'm never too sure what a multi-tool is for. Brakes and gears can be adjusted with your fingers, so I carry a small one just in case I need to tweak my saddle height. This one doesn't have a chain splitter, but I keep on top of my chain condition, as you'll see in another video. Finally, this extra item is a tyre boot. You can also make one out of a bit of plastic. If you rip your tyre wall, and that has happened to me, the tyre can bulge through and burst. You can line the inside of the split with this boot, and it should stop the inner tube coming through. Allegedly the new plastic banknotes work, but I've tried that in anger, and it didn't. All that fits snugly into this small specialised seat pack, and I don't have to load up my pockets when I go for a ride. I know it is all on the bike. The gravel bike, though, is slightly different. With this bike, I venture into wilder places where I can't call or hitch for a ride home, so I need to be more self-sufficient. This is how I set it up. My inner tube is held tight under the saddle or on the seat post where I can easily swap it when I change the wheels. The different sized wheels and tyres take different sized tubes. Sometimes in wild places I'll carry two. The kit lives in this bottle carrier that sits in a bottle cage, and everything in here works with either set of wheels. Usually I put my water in a camelback so I don't mind losing a cage. If bike packing, I can add another cage under the down tube and store the tool carrier in there. Everything in it is exactly the same, except the good micro rocket pump lives in here. The gas cartridge is bigger because you need more CO2 for larger tubes, and the micro tool has a chain splitter. I can easily repair the chain with a spare quick link. These just snap together. In the extra bag, as well as a tyre boot, I have a set of brake blocks. And I have a mech hanger. That's the part that holds the derailleur to the frame and can snap if it hits a rock. I also have a set of replacement cleats because these too can get damaged walking on rocks. I chucked in 2 small samples of lube and some cable ties just for good measure. So that's what I carry on every ride. And just like a waterproof jacket, you know the day you leave it at home, it'll be the day you need it. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, please, and I can't ask you this enough, would you subscribe and give me a thumbs up, please? It helps YouTube push my channel and gets it higher up in the ratings. And take a look around at some of my other videos too. If you like the new starter videos for beginners, then have a look at the ones that have got the purple border around them. Until next time, bye.